record on this, and we are live. I want to thank you guys for hopping on to another team call with us. I know that these haven't, these calls are all a little bit different, and the reason why is because sometimes Steph hosts and sometimes I host depending on the schedule, but we're doing as much as we can to get out here and stay connected with you guys. Right now, tonight, Steph is actually going to be not available. She is leading a gymnastics camp. So I'm going to be in charge of this meeting. It's something that I'm very passionate about. We're going to be covering how to close the sale. So if you see me doing a bunch of things, it's because I'm trying to figure this program out. And Steph had it down, but like I said, she's not going to be here tonight. So what we're going to do, guys, is we are going to run this call a little bit different than we're used to, but you're going to like this, okay? First, I'm going to cover what we're going to talk about. Then we're all going to get a chance to practice, okay? This is one of those calls where you want to have a pen and a paper because I'm going to give you some very good take-home material. So pen and paper, go ahead and take the next 15 seconds to grab a pen and paper. You're going to want to do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to start off with a story. And this story is about a Beachbody coach who walks into a cafe during a stormy fall night. And he walks into this cafe and he's just covered in rain and he's shivering, and the waitress comes up to him. And before she even asks him anything, he takes a look around and he sees a bunch of people on their laptops and on their cell phones. So he knows that they're all Beachbody coaches as well. And he asked the waitress, "Is it safe to go out on the road right now?" And her response was, "It depends if you are on salary or commission." It depends if you are on salary or commission. If you're on commission, then the weather is a little bit more tolerable, guys. If you're on salary, well, you don't have to get out. You don't. Your livelihood doesn't depend on it, so there's less pressure. And I share this story with you guys because our role as coaches is to get outside of our comfort zone. And for those who have a full-time job, it may be a little bit easier to get outside of your comfort zone because you don't have to fall back on Beachbody and your career with Beachbody. And I get that. I understand that. But for those that are relying on this source of income, that have a deeply rooted why, I want you to think about this as what it is. You are on commission. You are on commission as a sales representative for Team Beachbody. Yes, we are called coaches. We're also labeled independent distributors. But there is a huge part of what we do is very similar to what a salesman does. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about sales. We are going to be breaking down the sales process. Consider this Sales 101. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to write down on your piece of paper that you just grabbed, the first thing is identify needs. Identify needs. Now, there is a very bad image of salesmen because we look at a salesman as someone that tries to shove something down your throat. We look at a salesman as somebody that tries to push something in your direction that you don't want. And that salesman has skipped step number one, which is identify your needs. Okay? So the most important thing that we do, we can't go any further in the sales process until we have identified needs. Okay, so what does identifying needs means? That means that if I'm going and I'm trying to sell somebody Shakeology, if I'm trying to share with someone Shakeology, I need to know why they need it in their life. How can it benefit them? Not everyone's trying to lose weight. Not everyone needs the extra energy. Not everyone needs this vast array of benefits that Shakeology provides. I need to know more about you as a prospect and what I should highlight about Shakeology. So step number 1, identifying needs. Okay. Step number 2 is to share your story. A lot of people think of sales as spitting out the facts. They think of it as like, well, this is great about Shakeology. This is why Shakeology is better than Herbalife. This is why Shakeology is better than Body by V. That's not step number 2. Step number 2 is to share your story. Okay, I want you to write this down next. Selling is a transference of feeling. Transference of feeling. If I cannot get you to feel what I feel, a sale will not take place. Okay? If I cannot get you to feel what I feel, a sale will not take place. As Steph mentioned this in the last call, the last 3 letters in enthusiasm, last 4 letters are IASM. IASM. I want you to write down enthusiasm. Write down enthusiasm. Okay? And then I want you to underline the last 4 letters. Okay, it's an acronym. I am sold myself. Okay. For demonstration purposes, if I wanted you to buy this orange pen right here, if I were to come up to you and say, this is a cool pen, you should buy it. And someone else comes up to you and they say, man, this pen is amazing. Do you know that I signed my first contract with this pen? And the ink that was written on this piece of paper it looked better than the Mona Lisa itself. You should totally invest in this pen. Which one? A, raise your hand if you think A will generate more sales. Raise your hand if you think B will generate more sales. All right, good job. I can tell you guys are paying attention. So I am sold myself. Now, each and every one of you have used Shakeology in so many different ways. You've used it because you're short on time. You've used it because you're on vacation. You've used it because, I don't know, you're just being lazy and it's easy to do. You've used it because you love the way it tastes. You've used it and sprinkled it on your cereal. You've used it and put it in your coffee. You've used it for a 3-day cleanse. You've used it as a post-workout. You've used it as a pre-workout. There's so many different ways that you have used it. Now, the only way that you're going to be able to share your emotion is to share how you have used it. How has it helped you? What did it do for you? Did it get you over that plateau? Does it give you more energy to work with your kids? Does it give you more energy at work? Okay, these are personal experiences. You don't have to make them up. You just have to share them. So when you've identified somebody's needs, the story that you tell, because I am sure that you had a ton of them, the story that you tell has to be the one that is similar to the need, the want, the desire that they're looking for. It has to be that story. So if someone comes up to me and they say that they're interested in Shakeology because they juice and they're looking for something that they could do on the road because, you know, it just doesn't make sense to take everything that I need to juice. That's just too much. Okay, I'm not going to go and talk about Shakeology and how it's going to help you lose weight. Okay, I'm not going to talk about Shakeology and how it gives you extra energy. Okay, I'm going to say, you know what? When I go to the airport, I just take about 5 packs of Shakeology. You know, I put it into my little shaker cup, grab some ice, maybe some almond milk, you know, whatever I'm mixing with. I shake it up and I throw the pack away. Okay. After I've shared my story, you want to write this down. Okay, this is the next part. After I shared my story, I want to ask this question. Is that what you are looking for? Is that what you are looking for? Okay, I have made sure that I have identified their needs. Is that what you're looking for? Great. Okay, I've got it. I have got what you are looking for. You say you need it. I've shown you how it's worked for me in a similar regard. Now I'm asking you to double verify that that's what you're looking for. Okay, making sure that we're on the same page. Great. Write this down. Here's the next thing. Here's the next. This is probably the most important question after identifying the needs. If I ... will you? If I ... will you? Okay, and in parentheses right after that, I want you to put first sale. First sale. This is the first sale that we are trying to make. Okay, if I, will you? If I show you more information about this product, will you spend 5 to 15 minutes of your time to look more into it? Okay, great. I don't want to talk about it. I do not want to talk about it. I want to ask for permission, and this is what I'm doing. I want to ask for permission to send them some information. Okay? Now, this is as simple as sending them my Shakeology link. If I send you more information about how this could help you do this, would you spend 5 to 10 minutes of your day looking at some more information? Okay? Raise your hand if you think they're going to say yes. Okay, good. More than likely they will say yes, because you're not asking them to buy. You're just asking them to spend some more time looking at it. Okay? When they get your website, they're going to go look. Okay, they're going to go look. And if this is somebody that's interested in the convenience of it, then they're going to go look for the convenience of it. They're going to go look at the testimonies, and they're going to what people are saying about how convenient it is going to call out to them. But they're also going to read everything else on their own time. They're also going to read everything else that interests them on their own time. So I don't have to tell them. Okay? I don't have to tell them. They're going to go look for it. Okay? Now write this down. The next thing. Schedule a day to follow up with them. Schedule a day to follow up with them. You need a day to follow up with them. Raise your hand if you've worked with kids before. Raise your hand. Okay. So I'm having the experience of my lifetime right now because we're working with, over 50 kids every day. And if I have 50 kids in a line in the middle of the gym, and I tell everybody to get in a line, what are the odds that every kid is going to be faced towards me? Probably zero. I will tell you there are 0 odds that every kid will face towards me. But if I say, get in a line and face towards me, then the kids will get in a line and they will face towards me. What I've learned is that we are nothing more than big kids with egos. You still have to tell us what to do step by step. Step by step. I'm going to send you this information. I want you to take a look at it, and then we're going to talk again. We are going to talk tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Is that okay with you? Okay. It'd be even better if you gave them two options. Now remember, this is your business, this is your schedule. So you could say, you were going to look at this information and we're going to touch base tomorrow. We could either talk at 7 or we could talk at 9. What works better for you? 7 o'clock. Okay. Write this down. Next step. You are going to verify that you are on the same page again. Okay, a lot of this is just verifying that you're on the same page. Okay, great. I am going to call you tomorrow at 7 o'clock. You are going to take a look at the information, and then we're going to talk more. Right? Right. Okay, great. I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. You have to verify, guys. You have to verify. You're working with these kids. We're teaching them gymnastics today. We show them one time, and we're doing something like working on the double bars, or we're doing the vault. We show them one time, and we ask them, do you understand? How many people do you think shake their head like this? 0, guys. They all say, yes, we understand. And then what happens? They go out there and they totally forget everything. They never understood in the first place. They just don't want to say no. Okay, we're all big kids with egos. So you want to verify, you want to double verify, you want to triple verify. You double verify, you triple verify, this is what you should be doing. Yes, yes, okay? You were in the right direction. Yes, we're on the same page still. They're still walking with me. Great. I haven't closed the sale yet. I haven't closed the big sale, but I've closed the sale. We're on the same page. They're following me. I know that they can follow directions, follow instructions. Okay, so then I call them back. It's very, very important that when you say that you're going to call, or you're going to text, or you're going to Facebook message, you do it. If I say that I'm going to call you at 7 o'clock, I am going to do everything in my power to call you at 7 o'clock. Plus or minus a minute or two. 6:59, 7, 7:01. No more than that. Okay. The reason why we do that is so they know what they can count on. If you tell me you're going to call at 7, you call at 7, great. You're pretty dependable. You did what you said. And that's what we're looking for. Okay? Doing what you say. Doing what you say you're going to do. That's very, very important to keep your customers and to get referrals off of them. It's very important. Okay. So now I've called somebody and I've talked to them or I've messaged them. Here's the next big question right here, guys. When I say to write something down, I want you to ask these verbatim. The next question is, what did you like about it? What did you like about it? Okay, what did you like about it? Now, Stefan mentioned earlier about an open-ended question. This is an open-ended question. I don't want to share something with you that you're not interested in. But if I ask you, what do you like about it? You're telling me exactly what you are interested in. What do you like about this pen? If someone says, well, it's orange, and orange is my favorite color. This is what I'm doing. Yes, yes, yes. I have some more information, okay? I have more information. Now I could, that's all I'm talking about is orange. I'm talking about how my hair is orange and how my shirt is orange and how I would choose no other color than orange because to me, there is no other color that exists except for orange, okay, at that moment. So I've asked for questions. I asked the question, what do you like about it? What do you like about it? Now here's where the first time that I try to close the sale. Notice everything that we've done to this point. Now I'm going to ask for the sale. Okay. Now this is all I'm going to ask. You want to write this down. Are you ready to proceed with your order? Okay. Are you ready to proceed with your order? Okay. And then I also want you to write this one down. If you're feeling bold, which I highly, highly recommend is to always feel bold, you are going to assume the sale. And you're going to ask this question. Would you like to order that with express delivery? By asking that question, you have already assumed that they're going to say yes. If you assume they're going to say yes, you have influenced them to say yes. Do you want to do you want to order express shipping? Okay. Do you want to order express shipping? Write this one down. Would you like chocolate, strawberry, or vanilla as your first order? I have assumed the sale. Okay, I'm not afraid to ask these questions. I have assumed it. I have said, you know what? I can already read from you, from the tone of your voice, from your body language, that you want to go to the next step. I'm just helping you get along as comfortably as possible. Okay. Now, right about here, if they don't go and say yes, this is the first time that we've asked for the sale. Okay. And this should be the first time that you get any kind of objections. This is going to be the first time that you get any kind of objections. Now, I want you to make a note right here. Okay, just in parentheses, this is where objections start. Boom. And then I want you to put an asterisk and an asterisk. Okay, asterisk, asterisk. And at the very bottom of your page, okay, leave some room because we're still taking notes. But at the very bottom of your page, I want you to take those same asterisks, okay? This is going to be a little side note. I want you to write this. Tackle the objectives when telling your story. Tackle the objectives when telling your story. Okay. What I mean by this is when we go and we talk to something, if you're like me, I do not like getting into disputes. I do not like this, okay? I do not like trying to protect something or you know, I'm trying to defend myself. I don't like taking that stance, okay? What I have learned is that if I can address these key issues in my story like they're nothing, okay, like they're nothing. Think kids again, okay? I want you to think kids again. You know, in gymnastics, we have the balance beam, okay? Now, if one of my kids gets onto this balance beam, you know, it's about 3 foot, 4 foot in the air, and I tell them, hey, be extra careful when you get onto this balance beam, because if you fall off, there's a chance that you may land on your head and break your neck and die. What kind of emotion have I put into this young child? He's scared. You know, he's scared, he's fearful. Now he's walking across very scared. But if I say before he gets onto this balance beam and I say, all right, we're going to play a game. We're going to go across this like we have water on both sides, and our objective is to get across this like a ninja. Okay, this is going to be so much fun, and I know you can do it because I see you walk in a straight line all the time, and all you got to do is get across, and you win the game. How awesome is that? Now this kid is getting on there with a completely different mindset, and he's not worried about any of the fears. Now we could do that same thing when we tell our story. If I make price a big deal, then it's going to be a big deal. But if I mention it in my story like it's not a big deal, and I say, man, you know, that $140 investment was the best thing I could have possibly done with it. I've spent $140 on my bar tab and didn't think twice about it. I wish I could take that back and invest this for everybody that I know. If it was up to me, oh my goodness, I would buy a challenge pack for every homeless man that I knew, because I knew that it would do so much more for him than $140 would. Oh, okay. I have made this big objective into a small objective before it even came up. So it's no longer a big deal. I have framed it for later on down the road. They're not even thinking, it's not a big deal. That's $140. It's nothing. It's nothing. $140. My cable bill is more than $140. Okay, it's nothing. So now we're back to our objections. Okay, you're going to write this down. If I ... will you? If I ... will you? Okay, and in parentheses, I want you to write verify true objection. Or actually, identify true objection. Identify true objection. And this is how we're going to do it. If you come up with an objection and you say, you know, I just I'm not into those shakes. I just don't like the way they taste. Okay. Then I want to say, if I share with you a sample and you get to taste how amazingly delicious this is, will you proceed with the order? Well, I don't know. I have learned that that's not the true objection. I want to know the true objection. Okay? People will tell you lies because they do not want to upset you. You've probably done it before to someone. Okay? I've broken up with ex-girlfriends like that. It's not you, it's me. No, it really is you. Okay? I want to tell you that. But you know, we kind of beat around the bush. Okay? You want to find out if they are beating around the bush or are they telling you the truth. Okay? And once you have identified the true objective, then you're doing this again. Yes, yes, yes. Because you're that much closer. Okay. So if I can show you how convenient this is, if I can show you how affordable this is, if I can show you how delicious this is, will you proceed with the $140 investment? Okay. If they say yes, great. Now all I have to do is find the information that they can relate to. That's it. That's all I got to do is find the information that they can relate to. If it's something that I've seen, if it's a video, if it's someone that's talked about it, if it's another experience of mine, if it's a testimonial, whatever it is, all I got to do is share it with them. Here's another piece of information. Okay, so I share it with them, and then I ask for the order. I ask for the order. Okay, guys. Now, when I say that, actually, on that part, I want you to write that down. Ask for the order. And then in parentheses, I want you to put boldly in capital letters. Boldly. Now, there's a difference for asking for the order and asking for the order boldly. Asking for the order is, well, do you want to buy it? I mean, do you want to buy it or not? Asking for the order boldly is, I've shown you every way that this can make your life beneficial. I recommend it 110%. I give it to everybody that I know. I know that this is everything that you're looking for. I know you're ready to put the order in. I'm ready here to send you an email. Are you ready? Can you feel the difference? Raise your hand if you can feel the difference. Okay. That's it. That is it in a nutshell. That is the process. Notice all of the steps that we had to take to set up that order. Now, if any of you guys play golf, Okay, I want you to think of this analogy. If any of you guys play golf, if you know somebody who plays golf, if you've watched golf on TV, how many times have you seen a hole-in-one? Very, very rarely. It very rarely happens. When you go into a golf course, there's par 3, par 4, and par 5. That means you've got 3 hits to get it into the hole. You drive it, then you approach it, and then you putt it. It's no different in sales. We have to drive it. We have to get closer. We have to get closer. We have to get closer. And then once we're on the green and we know that we can putt it, we've played putt-putt so many times, we don't even think twice. It's a done deal. I've got it. So when you're way back here and you see the order way over here, don't freak out, okay? Take the first step. Get closer and closer and closer and closer. And then this is where you get bold. This is where you get bold when you're this close, okay? For the fellas and the ladies, think of it as a kiss. I can't kiss you from way out here. I've got to wrap my arm around you. I've got to pull you in closer. But how many times have you just been right here? Nothing happens. The girl's waiting. When are you going to kiss me? When are you going to kiss me? And the guy's just like, man, I'm scared. I might kiss her ear. I might kiss her chin. Okay? There's that moment in time where you just got to go for it. You just got to go and kiss. Okay? The guy's happy. The girl's happy. It should have happened a long time ago, but it takes time. It's no different. No different, guys. It's no different. That's why the tracking is very important, so you know where you're at in regards to that. Okay. So, real quick, I've got about 7 minutes to wrap this up. This was a lot of material, but I'm going to wrap everything up right here. All right. Number 1, we're all kids with big egos. That's on both parts. They're a kid, we're a kid. If you have worked with kids and a kid really wants something, you really want this, you really want challenge packs, you really want Success Club points. If a kid really, really wants that candy, he doesn't just ask once. Can I have the candy? Can I have the candy now? What about now? Can I have the candy? Can I have the candy? I want the candy. Can I have the candy now? What happens? Eventually the kid's going to get the candy. You know it. I know it. Okay, so you have to ask like a child. You are the child. You have to ask like a child. Number 2, expect a yes. You always want to assume the sale. Always want to assume the sale. Okay. Are you ready to order? I mean, do you want it in chocolate? Do you want it in vanilla? Do you want to express ship it? Assume the sale. Number 3, you can only sell what someone is ready to buy. I cannot sell you on something that you do not want. So I have to identify the needs. If you're looking for something to give you energy, Shakeology can do that. If you're looking for something that's delicious, Shakeology can do that. If you're looking for a meal replacement, that's what Shakeology is. If you're looking for convenience, that's what Shakeology is. But you're telling me what it is so I can share more information about that in particular. Okay. Number 4, mention the expected objections up front. Okay. Mention the expected objections up front. Don't let them get to the point where it's this big. It's this small. It is this small all the time. Price, time, whatever it is. I just knew that I had to have it right now because every day I'm getting older. And what I've learned is Shakeology has been the only thing that I found that makes me feel younger. I have found the fountain of youth. Okay. Set them up. Number 5, use words to describe feeling. 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 We are emotional beings. I want to tell you how much energy I had. I want to tell you how my taste buds were so happy. I want to tell you how I was able to enjoy my day without cleaning up. I want to tell you all of the things that I felt. What I felt. Not what I thought, what I felt. How did this make me feel? And I want you to feel it. Think of a movie, guys. If you go to a movie, it's a good movie if it makes you laugh, if it makes you cry, if it makes you feel pain, if it makes you have these memories, and that's a movie. This is real life. You could do the same thing. Okay? So I want to leave you with one last story. This is a funny one. I heard this when I was a new coach, and it was about a door-to-door salesman. And he was brand new. He was a brand new door-to-door salesman. He didn't know how to do anything. And so he started off just by himself. And he would go and he would knock on the door. Knock, 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 knock. And most of the time people didn't answer. But sometimes they would answer. They'd see that he was a salesman, and they would just slam the door in his face. He's like, what am I doing wrong? I can't even get in and give my presentation to these people. What is it? So he decides to follow one of the top salesmen in the company. Okay? And this top salesman in the company, the first person that he goes up to, he knocks on the door with a smile. And he asks the question, how are you doing, ma'am? Great. And the lady at the door, she's pretty angry. She's had her share of salesmen. And she says, I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying anything. Just get out of here. And he goes, ma'am, I'm just here to introduce myself. I'm new to the community. I just want you to know who I am. And so she sees that he's not being pushy salesman. And then she asks, well, I know you're selling. What are you selling? And the gentleman responds, he says, well, what are you buying? And the lady responds back, she says, I'm not buying nothing. And he said, well, you're in luck, ma'am, because that's what I'm selling. Nothing. We can't get anywhere, guys, until we identify what people want to buy. If they're buying nothing, we're selling nothing. If they're buying energy, we're selling energy. If they're buying youth, we're selling youth. Identify what they want and highlight that when you present your story. We've got about 10 seconds left. I want to say thank you for hopping onto this call. It is recorded. We will share it. Watch it over and over. Let this material sink in and put it into action, guys. You have to lean over and give that kiss, or nothing will ever happen. You'll never experience the magic. You guys got this. If you have any questions, shout out at me. I'll tell Steph hello. So great to see all of y'all, and we'll catch up next week.